Hey, I'm back and I'm about midway through my new series on self-care for your cycle for those of you women who are looking to take better care of yourself throughout the month during the different phases of your cycle. And one way to do that is today's topic, which is essential oils that are good for your own aromatherapy during different phases of your cycle. So like in my last video, I'm going to start with the menstrual phase and remind you that it doesn't matter whether you're still menstruating or not, even if you're in menopause or past menopause. You can do this the same exact way by following the phases of the moon. Back before technology came over us and we began living under artificial light, we actually were tracking, all of us women were tracking with the moon every month in our cycle. And so the new moon was the beginning of menstruation and the full moon was ovulation. And so if you're past your period days, then you can follow these recommendations just by following the moon on your calendar, even if you can't see it in the night sky. All right, so starting with the menstrual phase again, this is the time of the month that we are tending to hibernate and not be as active. We are very, very low in our energy. And so grounding scents can be really soothing and nurturing to us during this phase of the month. And the scents that tend to be grounding are the greener or woodier scents, or sometimes the resinous scents. So things like pine or fir or eucalyptus. Cedarwood tends to have a woodier scent, and that's very grounding for some. And of course, frankincense and myrrh are the classic ones that we associate with the grounding kind of scent in their resinous forms. Now, each one of us has a different preferred scent, of course. Some of us do like green better than woody, and some of us like those really, really rich resinous scents like frankincense and myrrh. So you'll have to get to know your favorite grounding scent. Not all of these will appeal to everyone, of course, as is the case with all of the groups that I'll mention today. In your follicular phase, which lasts about a week and happens a few days after you start menstruating, you'll have a little bit more energy, and this is a time when you kind of start to wake up and find creativity in your bones. And so to nurture creativity and brainstorming and new ideas and new projects, which is kind of the best way to use that creative energy for most of us, you can use scents like peppermint and cinnamon, which are very stimulating, especially to mental processes, and give a lot of mental clarity. Again, peppermint isn't for everyone, and for those of you who don't like peppermint, you might find that you do like cinnamon. And so those are two options for you just to try out. Cinnamon's a little warmer, peppermint's a little colder. So those of you who tend to have a cold constitution in the Eastern medicine practices, you might tend to lean towards cinnamon a little bit more. And those of you with a really warm constitution, you might lean toward peppermint just because of the cooling effect of it. Both are great for mental stimulation, and this is the time of month for that. Now, ovulation is about halfway through your cycle, and it is the time when we are most sexually active and socially active. So we want to be noticed, we want to be heard, and we're great at communicating during the ovulatory phase of our cycle. And as women, we like to be smelled as well. We like to have people notice us. And again, this is a very, very particular kind of choice. All of the different scents that I'll mention here are very unique, and some of them are way too powerful for some of us who like to be more subtle. Lang Lang is the classic aphrodisiac scent, and it is very potently flowery and sweet. It is probably the most floral scent that you can find in essential oils. Then there's jasmine, which is similar. It's a small white flower, very, very perfumey and very strong in its scent. And then there's something more familiar, which is rose. It isn't quite as sweet, it is a little bit more subtle, but it is still very floral in its scent. And finally, a little bit warmer scent, vanilla, which is not floral at all. It's a little bit more grounding, a little bit more green, but it's definitely a very, very provocative scent that is alluring and attractive to just about everybody. Probably because of our use of it in baked goods, but it's also very, very attractive, and it responds well to the body heat. when we put it on our wrists. So I want to talk about one last phase now, which is the luteal phase. And during the luteal phase, we have kind of that slow and steady energy. We don't have a lot of natural energy, but we have the ability to kind of concentrate on our work and get some work done in a committed way if we're doing well. And during this phase, we tend to experience PMS toward the end of this phase. And so essential oils are really crucial for PMS, maybe the most crucial time of the month to really treat yourself and luxurious aromatherapy. And once again, it is very unique to each person which of these scents will really resonate with you. I've said in other videos that I really love citrus. Citrus is super calming for me. It might be energizing for other people, but it tends to give a lot of calm. Lemon is really famous for calming us. And my favorite scent is orange, and so I love to combine orange with other scents at other times of the month as well, like frankincense or cinnamon. But another really calming scent that a lot of people respond well to is lavender. And this is almost medicinal in its quality, that it really reduces anxiety. So those of you who experience anxiety during your premenstrual syndrome or even a little bit of pain, lavender can really cut down on that anxiety and some of the pain that you might be experiencing. So during the luteal phase, I would encourage you to try out either lavender or some kind of citrus as a calming agent, especially toward the end of your luteal phase, which is the end of your cycle. So how do you get these scents into your life and into the air that you breathe and into your nose for the aromatherapy qualities of them? Well, there are a few different ways that I recommend to do this. At different times of the month, some of them might be better than others. You can do aromatherapy through a diffuser like this that shoots up little tiny bursts of air, and throughout the day for a few hours at a time, it will fill the air in your atmosphere in your room or your workplace with an ambient kind of quality and a lot of scent and aromatherapy for your nose primarily. So it mainly will enter your body through your nasal passageway if you're using a diffuser like this. Or you can use a hydrosol. So hydrosols come in bottles like this with a spray nozzle, and you can spray it just into your face for hydration during the day before you moisturize, or just to get a little hit of aromatherapy. Hydrosols have a little bit different molecular compounds than essential oils, but they are part of the distillate process. And they do have those essential ingredients and the same kind of mood heightening qualities that essential oils have. They are just based in water. And finally, I would recommend putting a little bit of oil maybe on your wrists, on the inner wrist, during the day, during your ovulatory phase, when you do want to experience that heightened sense of social awareness and sexuality and just express yourself through scent. So if you're not going to be home during the day or wherever your diffuser lives, then certainly it is very possible to put a drop on your wrist. For most oils, that will not hurt you. For peppermint and lemon, you just want to make sure to keep your wrist out of the sun, because the sun can make that a little bit too strong and a little bit toxic in some cases if you're out in the sun. So if you'd like to learn more about aromatherapy, I have a couple of favorite books that I will reference below, and I have some more videos on this topic as well, different scents that can really help to have you experience a feeling of a spa in your home. That's a video that I did a couple of months ago that I'll put here for you. And I will also be doing more videos for you on the topic of self-care for your cycle. So stay tuned for more videos on that topic as well. And I'll see you next week with another one of those. Take care in the meantime. Bye-bye.